Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna,
Hare
Vancha
Krishna, Hare
Kastaropyasya
Krishna,
Kripa
Krishna.
Sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, assembled devotees ki jai. Thank you everyone for joining. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. May I know who all joined this mid-morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasini Devidasi from Atlanta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm Indu from India.
Hare Krishna, Indu Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to all listening devotees. This is Shashidhar joining from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shashidhar Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Prabhu for joining every single day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashumati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining mid-morning and early morning chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, for glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Nice to hear your sweet voice Mataji. Looks like you're better than yesterday. Welcome to the call Mataji. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Otherwise, I will start the recording and read the code. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Before we start the call, as usual, we read Srila Prabhupada quote for today. I would like to share the quote on the screen, and it's very, very important quote. It's about chanting. Just now we finished our chanting. We'll know how much great benefit the chanting is. 1 second, I don't know, my computer got stuck. The power of holy name. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, the power of Harinam is so strong that even if one unconsciously or consciously they imitate Hare Krishna, they have no intention to chant the holy name of Krishna, but they imitate or criticize Hare Krishna, that is also has effect. Calcutta, January 10, 1971. Holy name ki jai. Very nice. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We will wait for Prabhuji to join. I can chant until then. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
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 Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha once again. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Adi, 15th chapter, verses 170 to 179. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this mid-morning and enlightening us on the topic of Chaitanya Bhagavat. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Please take over. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Caitanya Bhagavata Adi, chapter 15, verse number 170 to 179. Shall I read, or are you sharing the screen? Or? Okay, there's no Veda base. Okay. I'll read the verses. verse number 170. Tabe sarva alankare bhushita kariya, Lakshmi Devi anilena asane dhariya. Vishnu Priya, who was nicely decorated, was then carried on a seat to the marriage arena. Tabbe harshe prabhura sakala aptagane, prabhureha tulilena dariya asane. Thereafter the Lord's relatives joyfully lifted him by raising his seat. Tabe madhye antapata dari lokachare, sapta pradakshina karayena kanyare. Following current practice, the Lord was blindfolded with a cloth, and the bride was made to circumambulate him 7 times. The word antapata refers to either a piece of cloth that is used to cover the groom during the marriage or a curtain. Tabe Lakshmi Pradakshina Kari Satabara, Rahilena Sammuke Kariya Namaskara. After circumambulation, Vishnu Priya came before the Lord and offered him obeisances. Tabe Pushpa Pela Peli Lagila Haite, Duivadya Banda Maha Lagila Bajite. All the ladies then showered flowers on the couple, and the 2 groups of musicians began to play. Chaturdike Stri Purushe Kare Jayadvani, Ananda Asiya Avatarila Apani. As the men and women all offered loud praise from all sides, it appeared as though the personification of happiness had incarnated there. Age Lakshmi Jagan Mata Prabhura Charane, Maladiya Karilena Atma Samarpane. The universal mother Vishnu Priya then offered a flower garland to the Lord and surrendered herself at his lotus feet. Tabe Gaura Chandra Prabhu Ishat Hasiya, Lakshmira Galaya Mala Dilena Tuliya. The Lord Gaurachandra sweetly smiled as he offered a flower garland to Vishnu Priya. Tabe Lakshmi Narayane Pushpa Fela Feli, Karite Lagila Hai Mahakutuhali. Thereafter Lakshmi and Narayana happily showered flowers on each other. Brahmadi Devata Saba Alakshita Rupe, Pushpa Vrishti Lagilena Karite Kautuke. Unseen by the common people, the demigods headed by Brahma joyfully showered flowers on the couple. Commentary. While watching the transcendental pastimes of receiving and offering service through the exchange of garlands between Gaura Narayana and Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi, who is non-different from Mahalakshmi, Brahma and the demigods, who are the devotees of Lord Vishnu, joyfully showered flowers, unseen people. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this beautiful chapter from the Adi Khanda, 15th chapter, in which the description of Nimai Pandit's marriage with Vishnu Priya is being narrated by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Very beautiful description. In this, so essentially in these verses, some of the different aspects of the marriage ceremony are being described. We see that philosophically speaking, when there is a union of the Lord with the consort, that is actually auspicious for the entire world. So that is why traditionally different marriage ceremonies of Ram marriage ceremony is being performed, Lakshmi Narayana marriage ceremony, Rukmani Krishna Vivaha ceremony is being performed. Even some places in South India, I don't know how bona fide it is, but Radha Krishna marriage is also performed. Radha Krishna marriage, in the Gopal Champu, Jiva Goswami also describes how the Brahma and the Devatas performed Radha Krishna marriage. So whenever there is a union of the Lord with his consort, that is auspicious for the entire world. In the Ramayana, three personalities, they played a crucial role in the union of Lord Ram with Sita. So firstly, Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra means one who is the friend of the entire universe, entire world. But he fulfilled the meaning behind his name only when he united Lord Ram with Sita and arranged for their marriage. The second personality, Hanumanji, he also played a crucial role in uniting Sita with Ram. He only found Sita and he gave the message of Ram to Sita, and he was the hero of the Ramayana. And Valmiki Rishi also played a role in uniting Sita with Ram. But that did not last long. Sita entered, Valmiki Rishi played a crucial role in uniting Sita with Ram, in the sense that Valmiki Rishi composed Ramayana and he taught the Ramayana to Lavakusha. And when Lavakusha started reciting the Ramayana, people were so attracted to that Ramayana. Then Lavakusha went on from one place to another place, and then they became famous in Ayodhya. And Lord Ram wanted to hear the recitation of Lava and Kusha. So then, when he came to know that Lava and Kusha are his own sons, then he decided to meet Sita. But at that time, Sita entered the earth, but that meeting happened for briefly. So in that sense, Valmiki Rishi played a crucial role in the union of Sita with Ram, because Valmiki Rishi only taught Ramayana to Lava and Kusha. And we also see that when the Lord is not with the consort, it is said that because Ram punished Ravana, Ram killed Ravana because Sita was not with Ram. And when Sita was with Ram, Shurpanaka was not killed. Shurpanaka was only punished. In that way, the Sri Vaishnava Acharyas explained. So therefore, the union of Lord with his consort is always very auspicious. And that is the chapter being described here. So, and then talking about marriages. So it is said in the Manu Samhita as well as in the Mahabharata, there are 8 types of marriages. What are the 8 types of marriages? Brahma Vivaha, Daiva Vivaha, Arsha Vivaha, Prajapatya Vivaha, Asura Vivaha, Gandharva Vivaha, Rakshasa Vivaha, and Paishacha Vivaha. So in this Brahma Vivaha is that in which the father of the daughter, father of the girl, performs Kanyadan to the suitable bride, to the suitable boy, by decorating his daughter with the proper ornaments. That is Brahma Vivaha. And Daiva Vivaha means when a person performs the Deva Yajna, and then at the end of the Yajna, he gives his daughter as a Kanyadan to the priest who performed that Yajna. That is Daiva Vivaha. And then there is Prajapatya Vivaha. So one brings the boy and the girl together, and then the father of the girl performs Kanyadan, and then tells the performs Kanyadan, and at that time he tells both of them, may both of you live according to dharma. And like that, when a person says and then performs Kanyadan, that is called as Prajapatya Vivaha. And then there is Arsha Vivaha. In Arsha Vivaha, a person gives his daughter as a Kanyadan, but in return, he accepts a cow and a bull. That you give a cow and bull, and I will give my daughter. So, on a condition, he gives the Kanyadan, performs Kanyadan. That is the Arsha Vivaha. And then there is Asura Vivaha, in which a person takes a lot of money from the boy and then performs the Kanyadan. Usually, one is supposed to give a lot of wealth along with the daughter, but a person takes a lot of money from the boy and then he performs Kanyadan. That is why it is called as Asura Vivaha. And then there is Gandharva Vivaha, where the boy and the girl, on a mutual desire, Gandharva Vivaha is nothing but the love marriage, where the boy and girl decide to get married on their own without informing anybody. Without informing anybody. That is Gandharva Vivaha. And then there is Paishacha Vivaha. Is that when a girl is actually sleeping, at that time the boy comes and actually kidnaps the girl and gets married. And that is called as Paishacha Vivaha. And then there is Rakshasa Vivaha. Rakshasa Vivaha is that after a big fight and fighting with the different other parties and then getting married with a girl, that is called as Rakshasa Vivaha. So these are the Vivahas mentioned in the Shastra. Out of that, it is mentioned that for the Brahmanas, Brahma, Daiva, Arsha and Prajapatya Vivaha, they are suitable for the Brahmanas. And Brahma, Daiva, Arsha, Prajapatya, Asura and Gandharva. These 6 marriages are suitable for the Kshatriyas. And in fact, I think Rakshasa Vivaha is also allowed for the Kshatriya. So we see that when Krishna was playing the role of a Kshatriya, he married Rukmini Devi in the Rakshasa Vivaha. Like there was a fight, and then he married, like after he fought with Shishupal and other people, defeated them, kidnapped her and married. That can be considered as Rakshasa Vivaha. And it can also be considered as Gandharva Vivaha because both of them together decided to get married. So it can be considered as Gandharva Vivaha, Rakshasa Vivaha. Shakuntala married Dushyanta in the Gandharva Vivaha style. Both of them decided to get married on their own without informing anybody. So that was allowed, that was according to Dharma, that was allowed for a Kshatriya. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, is playing the role of a Brahmana. So here his marriage with Vishnu Priya is nothing, is happening according to the first type of marriage, which is the topmost type, that is Brahma Vivaha. That is, this marriage is arranged by the parents of both the parties, and then the girl's parents, girl's father gives his daughter in Kanyadan to that boy. This is Brahma Vivaha. So that is what is happening here. And here there is also a description that how Nimai Pandit and Vishnu Priya, they circumambulated the Agni for 7 times. So this particular ritual is called as Saptapadi. So during Saptapadi, there is a mantra, which is a Vedic mantra, which is being chanted. What is that Vedic mantra? Saka Saptapada Bhava. Sakayau Saptapada Babuva. Sakyam Te Gameyam. Sakyate Mayosham. Sakyan Me Mayoshta. Samayava Sankalpavahai. Sampriyau Rojishnu. Sumanasya Manav. Ishamurjamabi Samvasanau. Sannau Manamsi. Samvrata Samuchitanyakaram. So what is the meaning of this mantra? By these 7 steps, you have become my lifelong friend. Saka Saptapada Bhava. And we have become friends. Sakayau Saptapada Babuva. Sakyam Te Gameya. I shall not deviate from your friendship. And may you not deviate from my friendship. And we have been united. May we live together. We shall have the same thought. We shall love each other. Let us live in joy with bright faces. We shall live together enjoying food and growing strong by its essence. With our minds in unison, we shall perform the same rites together. So this is a Vedic mantra which is chanted during the Saptapadi ritual. So in this mantra, the friendship or the word Saka, Sakyam, this comes again and again. That shows that the wife is the friend of the husband. That is why in the Yaksha Prashna, Yaksha asked some 4 questions related to friendship. Who is the friend of a person traveling? Who is the friend of a person at home? Who is the friend of a deceased person? And who is the friend of a dying person? Yudhishthira Maharaj said that the friend of a traveling person is the traveling partner or the knowledge which he carries. The friend of a person at home is the wife. Friend of a deceased person is the physician, and the friend of a dying person is the charity which he gives. So here, because just exactly according to Yudhishthira Maharaj's answer, the friend of a person at home is the wife. Appropriate to that, the Vedic mantra during Saptapadi ritual also reflects the same concept that the husband and wife, they become the friends. So in this way, we see that Saptapadi ritual is also described here. So I thought of speaking something from the Srimad Bhagavatam. There also the marriage of Lord with his consort comes. Because in these purports, in these verses, not much purports are there. I don't know what to speak. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have the description of Lakshmi Devi's marriage with Lord Vishnu, the Samudra Manthan episode. So when Lakshmi Devi appeared from that milk ocean, so at that time, Lakshmi Devi started looking for a suitable person to get married. So I started looking everywhere. She saw so many people present there. Vilokayanti niravatyam padam dhruvam chabhyabhichari shadgunam gandharva siddha surayaksha charana traipishtapeyadishu nanva vindata. So while walking among the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, Siddhas, Charanas and denizens of heaven, Lakshmi Devi was scrutinizingly examining them. But she could not find anyone naturally endowed with all the good qualities. None of them was devoid of the faults, and therefore she could not take shelter of any of them. So here in this particular verse, there's an important word. Vilokayanti Niravadyam Atmana Padam Dhruvam Cha Vyabhichari Sadgunam. So Lakshmi Devi, she was, what was she looking for in the form of the husband? So Lakshmi Devi was expressing the feeling that I am an unmarried girl. I am supposed to be with my husband, but whom should I surrender? Who is endowed with all the good qualities with whom I should stay? So she was looking for a suitable shelter. And what was she looking for in her shelter? The first thing is Niravadyam, one who is faultless. She was looking for a husband with no faults. There can be many faults. One fault is to die at an inappropriate time, or having no knowledge, or not fixed in dharma, or not having any qualities like beauty, power, and knowledge eternally. All these are faults. So she was looking for a faultless person. And then second thing she was looking for is Sadguna. She was looking for a person with good qualities. Asat Guna means bad qualities. Sat Guna means people with good qualities. And Dhruvam, she was looking for a person who is eternal. And Avyabhichari Sadguna. Avyabhichari Sadguna means that she was looking for a person with eternal good qualities. Because there are people who are knowledgeable, there are people who may be merciful, but then their qualities also disappear at a particular point in time. So their qualities are not Avyabhichari Sadgunam, their qualities are on the other hand Vyabhichari Sadgunam. So she was looking for Niravadyam Vilokayanti Niravadyam Atmana Padam Dhruvam Cha Vyabhichari Sadgunam. So she was looking for a person with these qualities. So then she could not find a suitable person. And she starts rejecting one by one. And when she is rejecting one by one, she is giving reasoning. All this she is thinking within her mind. And there are different personalities present there. She is looking at the personalities present there, and she is also remembering the personalities who lived in the past, who are not present there. Therefore, she was considering all the people in the past or who are not present there and who are present there. So one by one she is rejecting. So first thing she says is Nunam tapo yasyana manyu nirjayo Jnanam kvachit tachana sanga varjitam Kachin mahamstasya nakama nirjaya Sayishvara kim parato vyapashaya. So here she says that Nunam tapo yasya manyu nirjayo. Examining the assembly, Lakshmi thought in this way. Someone who has undergone great austerity has not yet conquered anger. Someone possesses knowledge, but he has not conquered material desires. Someone is a very great personality, but he cannot conquer lusty desires. And even a great personality depends on something else. How then can he be the supreme controller? So Sridhar Swami, in his commentary, Bhavartha Deepika, he is giving reasons. He is giving examples for the different people. So Nunam Yasya Tapaha Manyu Nirjayaha. So here he says, Manyu Nirjayo Nasti Tapasvishu Durvasa Prabhutishu. So there are people who are austere, but they have no control over the anger. So austerity becomes a bad quality due to anger. Nayam deho dehabajam riloke kashtan kaman arhade vidbujam ye thapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhyed yasmat brahma saukyam tvanantam. The purpose of human life is to perform divine austerities. So there are people who are austere, but they have no control over anger. So Sridhar Swami gives the example of Durvasa Prabhutishu, Durvasa Muni, etc. So Durvasa Muni is a very austere person, but he becomes angry many times and he curses many times. There are many Brahmanas who are austere, but then they become angry easily. So the Kshatriyas walk with the weapons and the Brahmanas walk with Vak Vajra. That means they carry the Vajra weapon on their tongues. That means they become angry and then they pronounce a sharp. So they get power to curse by their austerity. But then ultimately, when they become angry, that the power of austerity also disappears. So the fact that they become angry, that shows that they have unfulfilled desires, because Krodha is a Kamanuja. So Lakshmi Devi is considering all the big personalities in the Trikala, in all the three times. So therefore, she is describing the good quality, but she is also describing the shortcoming. That means every quality also has some fault. There are people who are austere, but they become angry. And then, so Nunam Tapo Yasyana Manyu Nirjayo Jnanam Tvachit Tachana Sangha Varjit. So there are some people who are highly knowledgeable, but they are not freed from material attachment. They are not freed from material desires. So, for example, there are personalities, she is remembering personalities like Brihaspati and Shukracharya. So, Sridhar Swami says in his commentary that for this Kvachit Guru Shukra Adishu, Guru Shukra Adishu. So, Shukracharya, Brihaspati. So, Shukracharya had great knowledge. Whenever Krishna used to speak in Kurukshetra or in Hastinapura or in Dwaraka, he used to quote the Shukra Niti. So Shukracharya is Niti Visharada. Nobody superior to him in medical science also. He had taught the Mrityu Sanjeevani mantra also. He can bring dead people to life. Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya, he had knowledge of that. So he was a great Parangata of the scriptures. But then Shukracharya had attachment to his own daughter when there was a quarrel between Devayani and Sarmishta. Instead of, it was a very small quarrel of exchange of the clothes. But then he should have just advised his daughter Devayani properly. That just leave this quarrel. But instead of advising his daughter, he took the side of his daughter. His Sarmishta's father Vrishaparva was a disciple of Shukracharya, and then he became angry with Vrishaparva, and then he said that I will not perform yajna for you, I will not remain Purohit for you. Then Vrishaparva, in order to pacify Shukracharya, and then he sent his daughter Sarmishta as a maid servant of Devayani. So Shukracharya, this incident shows that Shukracharya's attachment to daughter. And Shukracharya always supports the demons. And Shukracharya opposed Bali Maharaj surrender to Vamana. So this shows that although Shukracharya is knowledgeable, Jnanam Tachana Sangha Varjitam, but he is not free from Rajoguna, he is not free from material desires. Brihaspati also. Brihaspati is highly knowledgeable. Prithu Maharaj's qualities are being described in that connection. It is said that Brihaspatir Brahmavade. Prithu Maharaj was like Brihaspati in his knowledge. So Brihaspati is highly knowledgeable. But Brihaspati forcibly associated with the wife of his brother. The story comes in the 9th canto. So this shows that Brihaspati was also had material desires. And he is also always busy in benefiting the demigods. Whether the demigods are engaged in enjoyment or in some other way, but he is always thinking about their benefit. And Brihaspati punished Indra for a small mistake. We see in the 6th canto when Brihaspati entered, Indra did not get up. So yeah, it is a mistake from the point of view of your disciple to not get up when the spiritual master comes. But from the point of view of Brihaspati, it is a small mistake, and Indra immediately realized the mistake, and he was looking for Brihaspati to go and beg forgiveness, but he could not find Brihaspati because Brihaspati made himself invisible. Because Brihaspati felt offended by Indra not getting up. Indra not getting up. So, in one sense, because he also had attachment to getting respected. So therefore, he did not give an opportunity for Indra to beg forgiveness. I am a very big person. So he was knowledgeable, but he is not Sangha Varjita. It is not a Sangha Varjita Jnana. That means there is a desire for wealth. There is a desire for prestige. Desire for enjoyment is there. So this is the second group of people she is rejecting. We also see sometimes there are people highly knowledgeable, but at the same time, they want to use that knowledge for, they are also greedy for money, actually. They use that, say, giving knowledge as a business in a commercial way. So Prabhupada often talks about professional Bhagavatam reciters. So there are Bhagavat Kathakars, but then there is a money which is demanded, the rate for the Bhagavat Katha. So how much ever they may speak decoratively, Srimad Bhagavatam, but when the people hear such Bhagavad seed of pure bhakti, rather they only get the seed of mixed bhakti, because the Bhagavatam is being vibrated by a person who has attachment to money. So therefore, even the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Dhruva Maharaj Phalastuti, it is explained. One should explain this story of Dhruva Maharaj with the only expectation, when a speaker is speaking, that the only dakshina he should expect from the audience is that the audience hears with faith. So when we teach Srimad Bhagavatam or when we speak, the only thing we should expect from the audience is that people hear with faith. If a person speaks in that manner, then one will attain the highest perfection. So they are knowledgeable, but they are not freed from material desires. And then Kachin Mahams Tasyana Kama Nirjaya. There are people who are Mahan, highly exalted, but they have not conquered lust. Kama Nirjaya, they have not conquered lust. So Brahmaji is called as Parameshti. So here Sridhar Swami gives the example. Sangavarjitam Jnanam Nasti. That means Mahatve api Brahma Somadau na Kama Nirjaya. Okay, Brahmaji has knowledge, Sangavarjitam Jnanam. He is a great person, but still he has not conquered lust. So Brahma is called as Parameshti. So, but still, all the four Vedas emanate from him. The four Vedas are represent all the four Vedas which he is having. Four Vedas are spoken to him for the first time. So much capability is there, supreme knower of all the Vedas, the first Brahmana. But still, he got attached to his own daughter for a moment. So, for a moment. So that means there was a desire to enjoy Kama. That means there is an incompleteness. Only when a person feels incompleteness, one has a desire to enjoy Kama. So all other great qualities becomes nil due to this one bad quality. So, and then the fourth point is that the fourth person here she rejects is Sa Ishvara Kim Parato Vyapashraya. So there are people who are called as Ishvara, but they are dependent on others. Then what is the use of being Ishvara? So Indra is called as the example is given as Indra. Indra is an Ishvara. But then often he has to depend on Brahma, he depends on Brihaspati, he becomes fearful of somebody doing austerities. Indra is dependent on Upendra, Vamanadev. So somebody who is depending on others cannot be truly Ishvara. Or Parato Vipashraya has another meaning. That means one who is made shelterless by someone else. So many times the Asuras, they conquer the heaven and the Indra becomes shelterless. So what is the use of being an Ishvara if he is dependent on others? And the next verse, Lakshmi Devi says that Dharma Kvachit Tatrana Bhuta Sauhridam Tyaga Kvachit Tatrana Mukti Karanam Viryam na Pumso Aja Vega Nishkritam Nahid Vitiyo Gunasanga Varjita. So Dharma Kvachit Tatrana Bhuta Sauhridam. So there are people who are who follow the dharmic principles, but they are devoid of mercy. They become little violent towards others. The example given by Sridhar Swami is Parashuram. Parashuram, he performed the dharma of obeying his father. But then he was violent towards his mother and his brothers. So one may say that Parashuram, there's an internal reason for Parashuram's action. Parashuram knew that, okay, I will please my father, and by killing my brother and my brothers and mother, and then my father will become pleased, and then I will ask for a benediction to revive them. That's an internal reason. But then, externally speaking, he did commit violence to his mother and the brothers. So others cannot imitate that. Whatever may be the internal reason, but from the external point of view, that he was violent towards his mother and brothers. So therefore, although he was dharmic, he was followed the order of his father, but still, dharma kvachit tatrana bhuta sauhridam, he was not kind to his mother and the brothers. So sometimes, how does it apply to our ISKCON devotees? Sometimes we may be performing the dharma of devotional service, the highest dharma. But when we are only focused on our own sadhana, but if we are not kind to other living entities by trying to give Krishna consciousness to others, then that is not appreciated by Lakshmi Devi here. That is not appreciated by Srimati Radharani. We are only focused on our own sadhana and not worried about others' upliftment. That is not appreciated. And then Tyaga Kvachit Tatrana Mukti Karanam. This is the sixth category of people. There are people who are renounced, but they are not, the renunciation is not going towards mukti, is not going towards liberation. So the real renunciation should be going towards liberation. It should be going towards Krishna. Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevaye jivan api mritohi saha. Once karma should lead to dharma, once dharma should lead to renunciation, virakti, and once renunciation should lead to service to Krishna. So manasa deho geho jo kichu mor arpilu tuva pade nanda kishore. So real renunciation is offering everything for Krishna. So in this category, Sridhar Swami gives the example of Shibi Maharaj. So for the protection of a surrendered pigeon, he gave away his own flesh by cutting it into an eagle. By cutting it and then gave it an eagle. But then one will not get liberation by this type of renunciation. You won't get the Lord's abode. So one must renounce for Krishna. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasiyat yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat purushva madarpanam. Whatever austerity or charity you perform, one must do it as an offering to Krishna. The proper renunciation, the example, proper renunciation that leads to mukti, that leads to the abode of the Lord. The example is Bali Maharaj and Dadichi Rishi. Bali Maharaj renounced everything for the pleasure of Vamanadev. Dadichi Muni, he gave his own body for the pleasure of the Lord. And the demigods came and asked for his bones so that the Vajrayuda can be made. Dadichi Rishi said that Yodruve Natmana Nata na dharmam na yashapuman iheta bhuta daya na shocha stavarai rapi. O demigods, one who has no compassion for humanity in its suffering and does not sacrifice his impermanent body for the higher cause of religious principles or eternal glory, is certainly pitied even by the immovable beings. Etavan avyayo dharma punya shlokai rupasitaha yo bhuta shoka harshabhyam atma shochati hrishyati. If one is unhappy to see the distress of other living beings and happy to see their happiness, his religious principles are appreciated as imperishable by exalted persons who are considered pious and benevolent. So therefore, one's renunciation should be leading to liberation. And so the renunciation should be done for the pleasure of the Lord. So therefore, there are people who are charitable, but usually it is for the mundane cause. So when we perform charity also, it should be done as an offering to the Lord. So if the people who are renunciants, if the renunciation is not, if the renunciant themselves are getting entangled in the material world, how can they give shelter to somebody else? How can they give shelter to somebody else? Not possible. And then the next group of people, Lakshmi Devi is saying is that there are people who are highly powerful, but they are still under the force of time. They are still under the force of time. So she says that Viryam na pumstosti agave ajavega. So there are people like Hiranyakashipu, they are highly powerful, but they are not, and they are under the control of time. And there are people like Kartivirya Arjun. Kartivirya Arjun, what was his power? Once Kartivirya Arjun was taking bath in a river, and he had 1,000 arms. And this 1,000 arms, he had made something like a dam. And Ravana had a camp in some other place. And immediately Ravana, in Ravana's camp, there was a flood because of Kartiviri Arjun blocking the water flow. And Ravana started drowning. And the women with Ravana, they also started drowning. Ravana became angry and he started shouting who had done that. And Kartiviri Arjun caught Ravana as if somebody holds some small insect by one hand. So that was the power of Kartiviri Arjun. But even his 1,000 arms and his head was cut by Parashurama. It means like even he was under the control of the time factor. Hiranyakashipu, he had so much of power, but still he was not above time. So this is the 7th group of people. Nahi dvitiyo gunasanga varjita. And the 8th group of people she rejects is that gunasanga varjita. So there are people who are gunasanga varjita. They are endowed with all good qualities and they have no attachment for sense gratification. Gunasanga varjita. Very great souls. But then nahi dvitiyo. But they are not dvitiya, that means they are not proper match. They are not the proper vara. These people cannot be my proper match to get married. Because these people, their vision does not go externally. They are simply satisfied with themselves. So a person who is always in samadhi, how can he keep a wife? Here the woman has requirement. But the Mahatma who is sitting in samadhi, like he cannot satisfy the needs of a wife. Salt has got over or some requirement is there in the house. But they will be completely not worried at all about the requirements of the wife. So these people who are in samadhi, they don't even remember themselves. So then how are they going to take care of the children and the needs of the wife? So therefore, nahi dvitiyo gunasanga varjita. So therefore, these people are not expert in dealings with the wife. Although they may be in samadhi, but they cannot. I cannot choose them as a husband. And then the next verse she says, "Kvachit chirayu nahi shilama kvachit tadapyasti na vedyamayusha yatobhayam putracha sopyamangala sumangala kashchana kangshatehi ma." There are people who have a very long life, kvachit chirayur, but they are not Shila Mangala. They are not Shila Mangala. What is the meaning of the word Shila Mangala? Shila Mangala means that to have the behavior of mruduta towards the women. Mardava means that sensitive dealings with the women. The Shila Mangala, for example, a woman has many requirements. She may need ornaments, saris, and a different other thing. So a person who is a Shila Mangala, he is sensitive to the needs of the wife. So, but there are people who have a long life, but they are not Shila Mangala. He is having a very long duration. So Lomasa Rishi is his body is filled with hair. His one hair would fall when Brahma's lifetime would end. And when all the hairs in his body falls, at that time his life would get over. So that was the quality of Lomasa Rishi. But then he said that, oh, life is so short. Somebody asked him that, why don't you make a kutia hut for you? Then Lomasa Rishi said, oh, life is so short. Why should I make a temporary house for me? That's how he thought actually. So Lomas Rishi or Markandeya Rishi has a long life, but not Sheela Mangala. They don't have the proper sensitive quality of fulfilling the needs of a wife. They don't have a Mardava dealings, the Mruduta dealings towards the women. So Kochi Chirayu Nahishila Mangala. For example, Kardama Muni was a great austere person, but he satisfied the needs of Devahuti by providing a flying airplane, and he gave her a beautiful body and so many maid servants, and he gave her so many children. So here she is thinking that this is the 9th group of people she is rejecting. And then there are people who are Sheela Mangala, but there is no guarantee of a long life. Some people have Sheela Mangala. That means they can take care of the wife properly. There are people like Hiranyakashipu, that he knows how to take care of the wife. He is very sensitive towards the needs of the wife, but he does not have a long life. He does not have a long life. So this is the 10th group of people she is rejecting. And then next is that there are people who are Sheela Mangala and have a long life, but they are Amangala. There are people who have a long life and they are also sensitive towards the wife, like Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has a very long life. He has a long life, even longer than Brahma. And he is Sheela Mangala. Sheela Mangala in the sense that he considers his wife a lot. Lord Shiva considers his wife so much, he gives his wife so much respect, that most of the time he makes Parvati sit on his lap only. Sometimes even when he gives pravachana, he makes her sit on his lap. So, of course, one cannot imitate Lord Shiva, but the Lord Shiva also takes care of his sadhana. But the point is that Lord Shiva, of course, you know the story of that Griha Pravesha. Lord Shiva constructed a house, and then in Griha Pravesha, he gave even the house in charity. Lord Shiva is greatly renounced, but still Lord Shiva respects his wife properly. He respects his wife a lot. So therefore, he is Sheela Mangala. He is Sheela Mangala and he also has a long life. But still, he is Amangala. He is Amangala because he lives only in the crematorium. He puts ash all over his body. He wears the ornaments of bones. He never combs, doesn't put oil, keeps jata. So Lord Shiva till now must not have put oil on his head even once. In this way, she is rejecting these kind of personalities. And then she says that Sumangala Kashchana Kangshatehima. Sumangala Kashchata Kangshatehima. That means there are people who is endowed with all the good qualities. But he has no faults at all. But then na kangshatehima, but that person does not like me, or that person is not desiring me. So here Lakshmi Devi is thinking about Lord Ajita. So Lord Ajita is complete in all respects. He is not he does not have any faults. But then the only fault is that he is not desiring me. He is not greedy that some women should stay with him. So Lord Ajita was there in that assembly, but Lord Ajita was not looking at Lakshmi Devi. Ajita was blissful in his own form. So therefore, Lakshmi Devi is saying that na kangshatehi mam. He is a person, he is having no faults, but he is having one fault, that is he is anapeksha, he does not desire me only. So then Lakshmi Devi, but still she chooses Ajita as the husband. Why she chooses Ajita as the husband? Because Lakshmi Devi thought, although Lord Ajita is anapeksha, but still he is not desiring mystic siddhis, he does not desire other opulences, but still these other mystic siddhis, anima, lagima, etc., they are there in the Lord. Because those qualities and potencies, they still serve the Lord. And the Lord accepts their service. The Lord is not desiring these mystic siddhis, but still these mystic siddhis serve the Lord, and the Lord accepts their service. So in the same way, Lakshmi Devi is thinking that the Lord does not need me because he is complete in himself. But still, if I will become his maid servant, just like he accepts other qualities, anima, lagima, etc., in the same way, he will accept me also. So therefore, Lakshmi Devi goes near him, and then puts the garland on him. And then the Lord gave her the position on his chest. So this is another story of Lord's union with his consort. Here, how the Lakshmi Devi chooses to actually marry the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada actually writes a beautiful purport. He says that here is an instance to find the supreme personality of, to find the most perfect person. I'll just read that purport. So, somewhere Prabhupada writes. So this particular Lakshmi Devi examining all the personalities. So this particular section shows Lakshmi Devi is trying to find the most perfect person, and then finally she chooses Lord Vishnu as the husband, and then gets married to him. So what we discussed today, we discussed initially about the importance of the Lord's union with the consort, how it is auspicious for the world. We discussed some examples in that connection. We discussed 8 types of marriages. The Krishna Leela, Krishna married Rukmini in the Rakshasa Vivaha style, but here Nimai Pandit is marrying Vishnu Priya in the Brahma Vivaha style. Then we also discussed the meaning behind the Saptapadi, the mantra chanted, the meaning of the mantra chanted during the Saptapadi ritual, in which the husband and wife, they become friends for life. And that is why in the Yaksha Prashna, Yudhishthira Maharaj says that the friend of a person at home is the wife. And then we discussed Lakshmi Devi Swayamvara, in which Lakshmi Devi rejects various groups of people, and then finally she chooses Lord Vishnu as the husband. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a beautiful class. I don't have any question. Sukaka Krishna Prabhu, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Vinita Mataji. Thank you, Radhika Vallabh. I always like your class so much because you go so much detailed and everything is analytical. Prabhuji, this Shiva, Lord Shiva, though he's staying in Smashan, you said he's wearing bones and all. But I think he's very merciful. No, he wants to also take care of the Bhoot, Pret, Pishas. We know that nobody helps them. So he wants to bring them to Krishna consciousness. What is the purpose of his Smashan? He wants to help them to elevate their consciousness. He wants to bring them to, because he's always Krishna's servant. No?
Yeah, from that point of view, because Lord Shiva, in order to elevate the most fallen people, he appears like one among them. That is why he is having that kind of appearance. But here we are seeing from the point of view of from the woman who is wanting to choose a husband. From that point of view, she is saying, if the husband is having that kind of an appearance, does not take bath, does not put oil, having a jata, lives in the crematorium, that will not be a suitable choice for a woman to get married. So from that point of view, she is rejecting Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is having that appearance for the sake of elevating the most fallen people.
But Prabhu, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in one of the, he wrote one, I think, Shivashtakam, he wrote, where he glorified Shiva. And he said that Shiva in the Vrindavan, they don't do all these Namah Shivaya. He says do Ramanam something. One sloka which Chaitanya Bhai saw, Ganga Taranga Ramaniya Jata Kalapam Gauri Nirantara Vibhushita Vama Bhagam Narayana Priya Madanga Tapaharam Varanasi Purapatim Bhaja Vishwanath. He is telling that Shiva in the Kashi is always chanting Rama's name, Kashi Vishwanath. In Vrindavan, Gopeshwar, again in Govardhan, Chakleshwar, Nandigram, Nandishwar, and Radhakund, Pundeshwar. So Kamavana, Kameshwar, and Bhuvaneshwar, and Harihara Kshetra, Harihara. So everywhere, he is only propagating Krishna's name, no? But I don't know with this Ayyar Iyengar, we are fighting each other that we are horizontal, you are vertical. Actually, Shiva never has such thing, and Vishnu also is such close to Shiva. Is Shiva the incarnation of Hanuman, Prabhuji? Is Hanuman the incarnation of Shiva?
Yeah, an aspect of Shiva is also there in Hanuman. Yeah, oftentimes what happens, suppose a particular leader or a particular personality is very broad, but oftentimes the followers of that personality, they become narrow. Yeah, Lord Shiva is meditating on Sankarshan. But sometimes the followers of Lord Shiva, they become narrow and they consider Lord Shiva as the Supreme Lord. So there are different ways of worshipping Lord Shiva. Just 1 minute, written somewhere.
I heard that in one of the things Krishna told Shiva to be the Supreme Lord. No? In one of the in many things when they came, in one of them he had told that you manage. Okay, under the Krishna only allowed him to do. I read somewhere that he had told that.
Yeah.
Shiva cannot talk. If he can talk, he will come and tell the people, hey, go and chant Hare Krishna. He is not able to talk. In the whole world should chant only Hare Krishna. So he is a good
Lord
Shiva
Shiva
devotee.
is a devotee, but the point is, as I mentioned, that sometimes the followers can be narrow-minded. When Prabhupada had a very broad vision, but sometimes the followers of Prabhupada can be little narrow. In the name of being loyal to Prabhupada, sometimes they can become narrow in certain decision making. Someplace I heard, recently I was hearing, like earlier one devotee was preaching someplace, and but the problem is there is some opposition from the local authorities. So basically, we are preaching undercover preaching during the communist regime. They try to preach government authorities. Devotee is doing undercover preaching, not from the government authorities, but from the local ISKCON authorities. So I said, what is the so undercover preaching from the local ISKCON devotees? We are only doing preaching then. So then I was saying that sometimes the followers become narrow-minded. The Acharya may be very broad, but in the name of being loyal to that Acharya, sometimes the followers can become narrow-minded. Similarly, Lord
Narrow-minded.
Shiva is a very broad Vaishnava, but sometimes the followers become narrow-minded.
But a sincere devotee of Shiva, he will send him to Vishnu. No, he knows one who is totally dedicated to him. He will guide him. No, Paramatma will guide him to.
Yes, he will guide accordingly. There's the
So
story of
Prabhuji,
that. You know the story of that touchstone. There was a Brahmana who was a worshipper of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva directed him to go to that Sanatan Goswami. So Lord Shiva guided that Brahmana to Sanatan Goswami, a Vaishnava. Yes, sir.
Prabhuji, this Ayyappa is still there. Something there again. That is not there in our Purana. No? In our Vaishnavism, there is no Ayyappa at all. No, Shiva Harihara Putra. It is not coming in the Shiva and Vishnu.
There
but
is,
they never got children. No, only Moni was shown and then she went away. No, it was not that they had together and they had a child and all. Is it there in our it's called Prabhupada has never mentioned about it.
I don't know any scriptural reference. Inquiring with somebody, and somebody gave some reference of some Madhva Vaishnavas. They gave some reference. I have to exactly look at it, but some Madhvacharya followers, they give some reference for that. I made to see the actual reference.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for all clarifications. Wishing you a very blessed Happy New Year. I want your wishes for New Year.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the answers. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, is there anybody having any more questions for Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the very nice class. Thank you for also covering the wedding ceremony of Lakshmi Devi. It was very relatable. So thank you for that. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. If there are no more questions, we can end the call here. I would like to offer my obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaiva Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Shri
Jai.
Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Gauranga,
Nityananda.
Nityananda,
Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vinita Mataji. Thank you, Vinita Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.